I'll be honest with you, ransomware attacks terrify me. So seeing this news article here saying that in July they reached an all-time high, well, that sent shivers down my spine. To have this malware quietly installing in the background of your computer, encrypting everything without you knowing, and then all of a sudden shut everything down and demand money, well, that, my friends, is the stuff of nightmares. It can cost companies millions of dollars. So apparently, a big reason why the attacks are ballooning is because of this group called CLOP. They offer ransomware as a service to criminals, letting them easily break into large organizations and plant this malware to take over their system. Apparently, this is due to a huge vulnerability in a tool called MoveIt, used by many large organizations to transfer large files. Their a la carte service automates exploiting this vulnerability, so cyber criminals can easily penetrate their target for a nominal fee. And the payouts for them can be potentially huge. So this is bad news, and a lot of companies are suffering. How do we make sure we're not one of them? Well, I'm going to use our AI risk analysis feature again to check our policies and procedures and see what mitigations it comes up with. Let's get started. So here I'm in Staff.Wiki, and I'm going to create an incident report so I can raise a concern, which I'll select here. I'll select IT department here, and then paste in the title of the news article that I just copied. Now I'll switch back to the news article and copy as much of this article as I can so I can feed it right into our report. All right, switch back and then we'll paste that right into the details box here. It doesn't have to be the whole thing, just enough for it to get the gist of it. Now we'll submit this by clicking OK and then wait a second, and we'll see the incident report sitting at the top of the list here. Great. Let's click it so we can take further actions. So normally this will be received by someone in the IT department who will investigate and add input here. But right now we're going to use this new AI risk analysis button, which we'll click right now so it can look through our policies and procedures to see if we're protected against the ransomware threat that it talks about. Now, it may take a few seconds because it has to do quite a bit of searching and thinking, but it's certainly worth the wait. All right then, here we are. So this is the analysis it came up with. At the top here, we see a summary of the news article. Very well done, actually. It puts it very succinctly and gets right to the point. Okay, and below that, it evaluates whether it's relevant to us, and yep, it sure is. All right. And then under that are the list of mitigations it found. Ah, yes, indeed. The antivirus policy we have would certainly help here, especially making sure antivirus software like Defender is installed, running, and up to date. That's a good start. Next, it looks like it found the data protection policy. It's right. It says that we have training in place to make sure our staff are aware of security risks and to ensure they follow procedures when installing new software, which is a big factor in ransomware. But it also says that it probably won't be enough. We need something more than just these. So let's scroll down and there we go. There's a policy amendment suggestion. Let me just read through this quickly. Okay? So this amendment highlights the importance of regularly patching, including MoveIt. Definitely agree that would be essential. It also mentions the importance of regular and protected backups, which is probably the best defense there is against ransomware. So let's go ahead and click this button to add this amendment. Now it's going to take a few seconds while it does a bit of further analysis on the suggestions. All right. So here we are in the policy editor, and the amendment is put all the way at the bottom of the article. Now, of course, I could go into this and change the wording and remove or add sections as I need to. For now, though, I'll just go ahead and publish this as is. So let's skip the cursor up here and click on Publish. Then we'll click OK on this form, and a few seconds later, voila! It's published and ready for all to see. All right then, that's great. Okay, so let's switch back to that Incidents tab, and now we'll click the incident and then click the AI analysis again. Now let's scroll to the bottom of that to see where our amendment was. Ah, there it is. So now it's replaced our amendment suggestion with, let me read this. Yes, so it's replaced our amendment suggestion with an explanation instead. It explains how that new amendment is going to mitigate this risk. So here it says, I'll just read it out. Software updates and patch management. This aspect of the policy serves to close any known vulnerabilities that ransomware attackers might attempt to exploit. Exactly. So this points out how it's super important to apply those patches on a regular basis so that these vulnerabilities are closed up as soon as possible. Next, it has this: backup and recovery. By executing frequent backups of all critical data, the policy ensures that in case of a successful ransomware attack, the organization can recover its data without resorting to paying the ransom. Testing the backup and recovery process regularly helps to ensure it'll work when needed. Very true. Maybe I'd add to this that backups should be offline also, because there have been some ransomware attacks that are even able to locate backups and encrypt those too. So having a backup that'd be inaccessible to the ransomware is also important. The next is employee training and awareness, which is exactly why we have policies like this, and features like attestation to make sure people read them. We could add a quiz to the policy too, to turn it into real training material. And lastly, incident response plan. This policy establishes a clear procedure for how to respond to a ransomware attack if it does occur. Now, Staff.Wiki has an incident reporting feature built right in, this one we're using here. So that's great, and I'll probably want to change that policy to make sure it tells the staff to use that. Well, this is fantastic. We've taken this news article about an increase in ransomware attacks, and in just a few minutes we've evaluated whether we're properly equipped to mitigate the risks a ransomware attack poses. Isn't that great? We can also go further than this and click this Create Risk button at the top to add it to our risk register for further tracking. But we'll leave that for another video. Oh, what I will do though, is click this Replace Details with Summary button. So that way we remove the original news article so there's no copyright infringement. There, done. All right, so are you interested in trying it out yourself? Staff.Wiki has a ton of features for securing an organization's policies and procedures, managing risk and maintaining compliance. You can try it out today by visiting Staff.Wiki. Thanks for watching.